All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time for us to move on the show. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League, and we were discussing Wiki Tourist about you guys. The management also, it's not been a good season for Wiki. Yep. Remember what they were last season, what they were good, they were very formidable, getting the results home and away. But this season has been different. They're out of the continent, disgracefully. The club that beat them from Sierra Leone got hammered 9-1 by Club Africain. And the management has come up with a 4-game ultimatum to the technical crew and the players to ship up or ship out.
I mean, not really good moment for them. Winless in the last 4 games, 11 points from possible 33 this season. Bottom of the log. Remo moved, 1 step above them after they got a win over ABS at the weekend. And I mean, for Wiki Tourists, I think they'll be better at this moment. Last season, like you said, they finished third under, Maikaba. Gordon Abba just scored 18 goals for them. And this season, yes, a lot of changes. Maikaba moved to Aqua United. Godwin, moved to FC Fayimba. Ali Azan also joined, Maikaba at Aqua United. But they still kept most of the players. Emeka and Wabulu in goal. Efe Ambrose Jr. brother. Peter Ambrose. Tanzania going forward for them. I saw that in the preseason. They look very decent. They go back to for Nassau United also. And an experienced manager, so to speak. Baba Ganaru has won the league before. And I mean, things are not really working well. It's not going to be easy for the management to just allow these things to really work like this. They need to pull out a good
and I promise that when we get to the mid-season, they're going to do some good recruitment. And we're approaching. Yeah.
From where, Toyin? Which players? Which players are you going to attempt to leave that club to join Wiki Tourists?
They're going to reduce players from 45 to 35.
Yeah. They're going to reduce the number of players. Well, it's a different Wiki Tourists we're seeing this season.
No, I think they have to be careful, Tony. Some time ago, I think before the LMC came on board, any team that started having problems on the continent usually goes under. So they have to do something as fast as possible so that the morale of the players will not be dampened and things start getting out of hand. So for Wiki Tourists, I mean, they have a good coach, like Toby said, a man that has proved his mettle. But maybe the management will have to, maybe apply a stick and carrot approach. Sometimes the ultimatum can work, sometimes it backfires. So when you're also looking at it, you also, try to consider the welfare of the players, boost their morale. I think the players don't want to lose game. They don't want to, the situation that they have found themselves is not a deliberate thing. Perhaps let's see how subsequent games will pan out for them. They might begin to climb up if they get the needed results.
All right, let's talk about the results now. Let's take a look at the standings. We've given you the results of the games played over the weekend. Let's take a look at what the table looks like at the moment. The top 10, as you can see on your screen, you can see Plateau, Kanemi, MFM, Kano Pillars are beginning to pull off. Even ABS, Aqua United, Lobby. It's very tight. Yep. Only 4 points separating a team that is third on the log and a team that is 10th on the log. Shows you how tight it is at the top. That's what it is for you on the screen. The top 10 of the Nigeria Professional Football League after match day 13 played over the weekend. Let's take a look at the other half of the table. This is where you don't want your team to stay. Look at Wiki. No wonder they had to do a meeting today. Although they have 2 games in hand, but they are 11 points, and games in hand are not counted as points until they are won. Yeah. All right, so you can see Wiki. Last season they were at the other end. Look at where they are. Raymond Stars, 12th. Shooting Stars have been struggling at home. I think the home form of Shooting Stars has been responsible for where they are. Yeah. They've picked a couple of points on the road.
6 points at home.
Yeah.
Then you pick 3 points on the road. It doesn't equate.
It doesn't equate. So Shooting Stars have to begin to fix their home form.
Yeah, very key.
Very, very key for them. Look at Rangers as well. FC Fanyuba in 16th place. Rivers with 3 games in hand. You can expect that they will move out of that zone. Then you have Sunshine, Gombe United, Eyimba, and Katsina United in 11th place, counting from bottom to 20th to 11th. That's what it looks like, the second half of the log. Only this should be worrying times for some of the top clubs that we have here. The 2 CAF Champions League campaigners are here. Some of the teams are finished. If anybody are finished in the top 4 last season are here. Wiki finished in the top 4 last season, they are here. It's a different season altogether. It's very strange.
Yeah, very strange. And you might want to argue that some of them still have games in hand, like Rangers. They have played 10 games. Rivers United, if I remember. But for Rangers and if I think it's a pathetic situation. You look at Rivers; they are still up, and if they can get some points from the games and they will move up. But for Rangers, they are not scoring.
Outstanding games. You think you have them, and then you end up not having them. Look at Imba last season. At some point, they felt if they win all the outstanding games, they could win the league. But when the time came, they discovered that those games are not won as easily as they think.
And even it makes it very difficult for you because the fixtures, comes
congested fixtures.
You have to play midweek. You play, at weekend. Play 2 games in the space of 6 days. You have to do a lot of, traveling also. So, like you said, it doesn't count. It is when you have the point, you can say you have the point. Right now, it is terrible. For Rangers International, no one thought they would be here at this moment. I mean, and also the performance on the continent doesn't show, good signs about them. For Rivers United, yes, you can say, they can still find themselves out with the 3 outstanding games, with their performance. They're still although they went, winless about 4-5 games in the league, they bounced back with a last victory before the game against Emerick. So they can still build on that. But for Rangers International, it's terrible. For FC Feyenoord also, they've lost, I think, 8 away games now from last season. They've dropped many points at home this season. They struggle against, apart from the victory against Remo Stars, before this game, travel on road, they lost also. So it's not really looking good for them. For Shooting Stars, you can say regular customer in the bottom 4. They should find a way out. When you drop 6 points at home, then you pick 3 points away from it, doesn't equate. So your home form is very key. Remo Stars the promoted, so you can partner them. For Wicked, you finished 3rd last season, not really unacceptable. So it's a different table. It's also good to see teams like Petit United Academy, MFM, EBS also, putting up a challenge for the league title. It makes things very interesting in the NPFL.
All right, let me read the comment on Twitter. Very quickly, and we will go on a break. Yemadiba will be joining us for the rest of the show. Enyoma Daniel at Enyoma Daniel says, congratulations to Rivers United. This is Aqua United on your screen. He says, I never knew they could do it. Everybody, we didn't expect that it was going to be as convincing as they were. 3-0 against the Almerek. And it says, Rangers against Amalek, I think it's over. And it says there's more work for the coach to do. I don't think it's over. I think Rangers can still produce the goods. All right, I think they can still produce the goods. Let's be optimistic that they will do it. All right, top scorers after match Day13, Stephen Ode, the young lad, 8 goals in 9 games. Yep. That's the man in form, and everybody's expecting that this guy will be a part of the Super Eagles from the CHAN qualifiers and maybe the main team going forward. Is really the man in form. Samuel Matthias, 7 goals. Victor Mbauma of Remo on 6. Sunday Adetunji, 5. Alassane Ibrahim, 5. Kingsley Eduo, 5. All right, so that's what it looks like. It's a very close battle for the top scorers gong as well. To be very tough, very tight.
Very tough, but it looks very interesting also. For Stephen Ode last season, he scored just 9 goals in all the league game last season. But this season, he has scored 8 in 9 games. Look at Samuel Martel also for Academy World. Reason why Academy are currently challenging for the league title is for the scoring form of Samuel Matias. Ali Hassan also moved to Accra United, has scored 5 goals. Kingsley Eduo, continue for where he stopped last season. So it makes it very interesting. Let's see how many goals this guy could score. Maybe someone can equal for under 23 goal mark, or you surpass it.
All right. Olayinka Wule, a very good friend who is watching from Ilorin, says, all I can ask is that we build on what the league is achieving. Everybody's been talking about how well everything is going. He says officiating has been top-notch and is happy about it, all right? Yeah, sometimes we complain about refereeing, but we fail to highlight some of the good referees. We easily talk about the bad ones, and sometimes we fail to commend the good ones.
In recent weeks, now 3 match date has been
no arguments,
great performance from the match officials. We hope they can keep on with this, kind of form.
We hope they can keep up. All right, it's time for us to pause and go on a break now, just for a timeout. When we return from the timeout, during which we'll be bringing you highlights from the CAF Under-20 Cup of Nations that ended over the weekend, guys. Zambia are the new champions for the first time. They are winning the title. Nigeria couldn't defend it. Senegal again losing in the final. They lost in the final to Nigeria the last time. Now they've lost in the final again to Zambia. So let's take you to Zambia, venue of the CAF Under-20 Cup of Nations. When we return, Yemadiba will be joining us, and it will be time for us to take a look at UEFA Champions League and some other stories on Sports Tonight.